The avatar Jesus Christ, why you will need him. Jesus Christ, the avatar of good. Jesus Christ reveals himself as the avatar of good, a universal presence that brings light, order, and harmony into the world. He is not only a historical figure, but a symbol and a crystal of goodness, acting on all levels of consciousness. His light penetrates the inner worlds of humans, organizing thoughts and feelings, and allowing the polarity between good and evil to be recognized. In this inner clarity, human duality becomes visible. The capacity for compassion and wisdom alongside tendencies toward ego and fear. The death and resurrection of Christ symbolize that goodness can never be extinguished. Even when it seems absent in the world, the power of His light remains available. In the stillness of the heart, it can be reborn, opening the soul and preparing consciousness to receive clarity, compassion, and inner strength. Christ acts as an inner crystal, reflecting inner conflicts and limitations, transforming them into harmony. His timeless presence transcends all cultural, historical, and material boundaries. It allows life to be experienced as a mirror of universal order, where every experience, feeling, and encounter can become an expression of the good. Christ works not from the outside, but from within, guiding, clarifying, and illuminating consciousness so that human potential can unfold and life can be shaped in harmony with the light of goodness. Encountering this avatar reveals that transformation is not forced but arises through resonance and inner openness. Receiving his light enables one to influence the world through inner clarity, and every action, word, and gesture becomes an expression of universal goodness. Inner and outer worlds merge, and consciousness recognizes that the light of Christ illuminates not only the soul, but also subtly transforms the surrounding world. Activating the avatar within. Activating the avatar within begins with the quiet perception of his light in the heart. This light is subtle yet powerful, creating a space of clarity and inner calm. It reveals the structures of thoughts, emotions, and impulses, making hidden patterns and blockages visible. In this stillness, the polarity within is recognized. Old fears, doubts, and egoistic tendencies appear alongside compassion, wisdom, and inner strength. The presence of Christ harmonizes and balances the inner world. It allows internal forces to align, creating a subtle guidance in which thoughts, emotions, and actions enter into coherence. This inner orientation opens the possibility to consciously absorb the principles of good and integrate them into one's being. Once Christ's light is established within, it begins to extend outward. Decisions and actions are guided by an inner clarity that naturally manifests the good. The avatar does not act as an external authority, but as an inner model and source of resonance. With each moment of conscious attention, the ability grows to translate inner harmony into outer impact, transforming both the self and the world through the light of Christ. The activation of the avatar leads to a state where consciousness itself becomes a living vessel of goodness. Thoughts, emotions, and actions flow together in harmony, embodying compassion, clarity, truth, and love. The avatar is no longer perceived as external, but fully integrated within the being. Transformation unfolds across all areas of life, preparing the way for Christ's light to be effective both inwardly and outwardly, allowing the avatar to act in all areas of life. The avatar's influence extends beyond the inner world into all dimensions of life. Thoughts, emotions, actions, and relationships align with Christ's light. In the mind, the avatar brings clarity and insight, revealing the interplay of cause, effect, and resonance. Thoughts are no longer fragmented or reactive, but form a coherent flow that supports harmony and inner balance. On the emotional level, Christ stabilizes and harmonizes. Fear, Anger and inner unrest lose their dominance, while compassion, patience, love, and inner peace grow. Emotions become instruments of perception, generating resonance while strengthening inner stability, creating a foundation of conscious action and lived goodness. The avatar's effect becomes evident in action. Each decision, movement, and word is guided by inner clarity. Christ's presence functions as an invisible compass, naturally aligning actions with the principles of goodness. This inner alignment manifests externally. Relationships become more harmonious, interactions more peaceful, and conflicts lose their destructive force. Christ also generates subtle resonance that extends beyond the individual self. Through inner presence, a person becomes a channel of goodness. This influence subtly transforms their surroundings, relationships, and social environments. The light of the avatar can gradually harmonize reality, creating resonance and balance through inner alignment. Ultimately, inner transformation and outer expression merge into a continuous flow. Thoughts, emotions, actions, and perceptions align in harmony, making the avatar a living principle of goodness, influencing both individual life and the social and material world. Life itself becomes a mirror of Christ's light, connecting inner and outer realities in a natural and ongoing process. Transformation and manifestation. The inner transformation initiated by the avatar eventually unfolds outward. Once Christ's light is anchored within, it organizes perception, decisions, and actions. Thoughts that were once unconscious or reactive enter a conscious flow, guided by clarity, compassion, and wisdom. Emotions harmonize, dissolving old blockages and destructive patterns, creating a stable inner foundation. The inner order expresses itself outwardly, subtly yet powerfully. Actions, words, and presence mirror the inner light. Every decision is guided by the resonance of goodness, making the avatar's effect tangible in both the self and the world. Relationships become more peaceful, communication clearer, and the surrounding environment naturally reflects the harmony generated within. Manifestation of the good arises through the connection between inner clarity and outer action. True transformation is not imposed, but unfolds through inner presence and alignment. Every action becomes an expression of the avatar, allowing the inner light of Christ to work in all areas of life. This interplay between inner transformation and outer manifestation creates a continuous flow, synchronizing thoughts, emotions, decisions, and actions. Life itself becomes a living expression of the good, shaping reality through the light of the avatar. Inner harmony becomes the source of outer influence, allowing the world to be gradually transformed by Christ's presence. Reflection, integration, and daily practice. The avatar's presence works not only in moments of insight, but through ongoing reflection and practice. Every thought, feeling, and action is observed and related to inner order. This quiet awareness reveals unconscious patterns, helps understand old limitations, and allows the inner alignment to be adjusted. Over time, consciousness becomes a mirror of universal principles of goodness. Integration occurs as inner clarity and goodness naturally flow into daily life. Every decision, word, and action is guided by Christ's presence, creating a harmonious field where life itself becomes an expression of the avatar. Relationships strengthen, conflicts lose destructive power, and one's presence subtly influences the environment. Daily practice is rooted not in external rituals, but in continuous alignment of consciousness. Conscious breathing, meditation, quiet reflection, and awareness of thoughts and actions deepen connection to Christ's light. This practice creates stability, inner clarity, and the capacity to recognize and express goodness in all situations. Integration reveals that self-transformation and outward effect are inseparable. When thoughts, emotions, and actions align with the avatar, continuous resonance arises, transforming both life and surroundings. The human being becomes a living vessel of goodness, radiating Christ's light without effort. Finally, reflection and practice not only stabilize the avatar but deepen it. Christ's inner presence becomes a lasting source of strength, influencing every perception, decision, and action. Consciousness becomes an instrument of light, carrying goodness into the world and uniting inner harmony with outer manifestation. The expansive influence of the avatar on the world. The avatar's influence extends far beyond individual consciousness. Christ's light, anchored within, creates resonance in surroundings, relationships, and social structures. Its effect is subtle yet tangible. Conflicts lose destructive power, communication becomes clearer, and compassion and understanding grow. Christ's presence acts as an invisible network, bringing harmony and order into life. When many people carry the avatar within, a collective field of resonance forms. This field connects individual consciousness and amplifies the influence of the good. Decisions become more conscious, social dynamics more harmonious, and communities develop natural stability and cooperation. The cumulative effect shows that inner transformation does not remain isolated but impacts the world as a whole. The expansive influence extends to societal and cultural structures. People acting as living channels of goodness influence institutions, social fields, and cultural norms. Resonance spaces emerge where compassion, wisdom, and justice become tangible. Christ's light transforms reality not through force, but through subtle inspiration, resonance, and the quiet power of inner order. On a global level, individual openness to the avatar gradually changes the world. The cumulative effect of thoughts, emotions, and actions generates a network of harmony permeating material, emotional, and spiritual realms. The radiance of goodness spreads like an invisible current, supporting collective developments, fostering cooperation, and laying foundations for peace, love, and stability. Finally, individual and collective effects merge. Inner transformation combines with the resonance of others, and consciousness itself becomes a carrier of universal order. The world begins to reflect the principles of the avatar. Clarity, harmony, compassion, wisdom, truth, and love become tangible. Christ fully manifests as an avatar, allowing the light of goodness to flow from within and transforming humans, communities, and the world itself.